Hi guys, Dr. Simon here and welcome to episode 2 of Building a Brand. Today we're going to be talking about the artist or the entrepreneur, also known as evolution of your art. So this is a really interesting topic and I think that it's something that applies to everyone. It definitely applies at the start of your brand building endeavors. And really, it's just a reframing of something that many of us are aware of already. So to explain each of the three components, starting with the artist. Okay, so the artist is what most of us are as associates. It's someone in general business terms who carries out a particular service or creates something, and they are paid in reflection of that service that they provide. So for us as dentists, that's us actually doing the dentistry. That's our art. And that is something that many of us, including myself, are very, very passionate about, helping people, using our hands. We're so lucky in dentistry to be able to carry out a job that has so many different facets in the actual provision of the dentistry. But from a business point of view and from a brand point of view, you can only scale that to a certain size. So there's only a certain number of hours in the day that you're going to work. There's only one of you. And so the art at some point from a business point of view reaches a maximum scale. And so when it gets to that stage, you've got a few different options as to what you do next. Either you try and work faster, which many people try to do, and what that tends to lead to is a reduction in the quality of the services that you're providing, or you put your prices up, and therefore you're being paid more per unit of activity, and so that's another way to reach a larger financial scale, whilst still providing the art and the service that you are passionate about. But obviously that's going to mean that certain people aren't able to access the services that you're providing because your prices are going to be potentially higher than they're able to afford. And also at some point, obviously you're going to price yourself out of the market if you go too high in that endeavor. So the next phase on from the artist, either you stay at that stage and you say, right, this is my income level, I'm happy with this, I'm doing what I love, and that's absolutely fine. And for certain people, that's the dream. They're doing what they love to do, they're being paid the correct amount for it, and that is a happy equilibrium for them to stay in, and that's what you see for people who are associates their whole careers, and it's a lovely place to be. However, if you do want to scale from a business point of view past that, you're going to need to create some leverage. And when I say leverage, what I mean is you need to bring in other people's time to carry out the services that you're trying to provide. So the next phase up from the artist, I would describe as the hybrid. So the hybrid would be for example, a practice owner who's still carrying out the clinical dentistry. They're still doing the art themselves, but they're also referring off cases, or with in our case in dentistry, with new patients coming in, they are being seen by the associates and by the hygienist and by other members of the team. So you're benefiting from the time of those other individuals that you're working with, but you're still providing the art yourself. So this is a happy medium which many of us live in. I still live in this environment where I'm carrying out clinical dentistry, which I love, but I also have a 7 surgery practice, so I benefit from having people working when I'm not there. So you gain an element of passive income. That could be argued is not always the case depending on how your practice is run. But you get the benefits of both sides of the coin, both the artist and the entrepreneur. But equally, it could be argued that you don't necessarily go wholeheartedly into either of them, and so can you truly succeed in both? And that's, I think, very dependent on the individual. It's something that you need to look at internally and say, right, where do my passions lie? Where do my skills lie? Am I terrible at business but amazing at dentistry? Am I not very good at the clinical hands-on side of things, but actually I'm great at business? And it takes a lot of sort of introspection and self-awareness to be able to find out where you are in that dynamic. And then the final option is obviously going fully to the entrepreneur, where really the business is the art, and you enjoy that, you find passion in that. Certainly, I can speak from my experience as a founder and CEO of Parlour that I take great passion from the business of Parlour, from the team, and from the branding, and from the marketing, and all the success that comes alongside that. And that is another thing. And I think we're very, very lucky in dentistry to be able to experience both the art and the business simultaneously. But I think my main point that I want you to go away from today is really to be aware of this dynamic. Be aware that you've got 3 different pathways that you can take there, and obviously with the entrepreneur pathway, you could take that to multiple practice, DSO level. You could go into many other areas of dentistry that you can work in business. You can lecture. You can get involved with the production of various services or products that can be used within the profession. The world is your oyster in that regard, but be self-aware, look at where your skill sets are, look at where your passions are, and then really double down on that section. So hopefully that was useful. We'll be coming back with episode 3 next month, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one.